No more wasting time. You know the plan. Savati Duma.
I've got a few ideas on how we can polish this turd of a safe house case. Let's talk when you have a minute. All right. What kind of life savings you got? No wonder you're still alive, Case. Always serving up the top sirloin of bullshit. I'm gonna cut to it. We can't do shit with this house, considering our money situation. This place might have been fine for Adler, but for a team, I'm thinking overhaul. An armory, place to train, gear bench, not to mention anything else we might end up needing. There's that won't be free, though. Marshall found a few grand stashed in one of the rooms upstairs. Other than that, we're starting fresh. No touching our own bank accounts either. Someone will be watching. When you're on a mission, look around for any cash lying around. You're gonna Robin Hood your way through this. Steal from the rich and give to the poor. That's me. We were following an old KGB trail and a single recording led us here. Seemed abandoned. When we asked our mole inside the KGB about it, he knew nothing. Belikov thought maybe it was some kind of splinter group, not sanctioned by the Central Committee. Whatever it was, it doesn't look like a Red stepped foot in here since 1968. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get others involved. Looks like he was working on a trust list. As far as I could tell, he didn't contact anyone. That's probably why Adler was talking to Dumas, keeping it outside of Langley. We're gonna do the same, at least for now. The board behind me is how we'll track our spending. Give it a look.
What's going on, man? Just what we found in Adler's files. An assassin, maybe 30 years old, came from one of Avalon's crime factions, the Guild. Appears she was raised through the Guild and then exiled or left, don't know. Whatever it is, Adler was interested, so I am too. Felix Newman's a former Stasi engineer and enforcer. Dude managed to crack the military branch of ARPANET a few years back, so I'm hoping he's got a sequel in him. So far, we've got nothing but Adler's homework. But he could be out of his mind. Whether he is or whether he isn't, those paramilitaries in Kuwait, they were the real deal. Well-armed, coordinated, motivated. Worried? Jane's smart. Once Langley knows we've skipped town, she'll make excuses for us as long as possible. Until then, comms are gonna put a target on our head, so we'll wait for the time to be right, and then we'll regroup. Am I worried? No. Hell, man, I don't know. Seems hard to believe, but maybe I'm just naive. If Livingston's involved, he could have wanted Adler off the board, one way or the other. Hell, you kidding me? 9 years out and I'm still writing checks to Temple. Tell him to take a home equity loan out on this place. That's a tough motherfucker in there. Lost his legs in Panama, lost his best friend. Langley gave him a chance to help run ops, but between me and you, it's not in his blood. Man's a soldier. Killer. His current situation, maybe he feels like he's on the front line again. Could explain why they haven't been back here. Maybe turn over some rocks when you have some time. Who knows what we might find in here.
Check under the phone booth. His name is Yannick, a broker for the Guild. He'll be on his yacht tonight taking a call with the Pantheon. We'll be listening in. Once that pull is finished, you'll finish Yannick. That'll draw the target I really want. But first things first. The bell tower on that church offers an open view of Yannick's yacht. He's throwing a party while his men count money in the church. Yannick traffics in weapons, narcotics, women, whatever pays. Rumor has it the Pantheon wants a relationship with the Guild, so Yannick is testing the waters. He's only our first domino. The real fun starts after we knock him down and get access to the target I really want, Johannes Edi. Close enough to know if you screw this up.
Still haven't warmed up to that salve yet, but hey, at least we didn't get killed in our sleep.
Case. The Guild took me in as a child, an orphan on the streets of Morocco. They became my family, and provided a vision for what I could become. A weapon. I was happy to protect them, to kill for them. Until one day they betrayed my trust. That was it. Someone died because of me. Undeservedly. That's all I feel like saying about that. Not many rumors in Avalon get past me. One involved this group you're after. Supposedly the Pantheon is in bed with one of the factions, but I don't know who. Adler thought it might be the Guild, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Whoever it is, maybe it'll be clear in time. Sure. Not many rumors in Avalon get past me. One involved this group you're after. Supposedly the Pantheon is in bed with one of the factions, but I don't know who. Adler thought it might be the Guild, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Whoever it is, maybe it'll be clear in time. Someone died because of me. Undeservedly. That's all I feel like saying about that. Sure.
Ah. If you are looking for your camera, I'm afraid you've come to the right place. My apologies for not informing you in advance. Just a few modifications. Primarily, the addition of a miniaturized RF transmitter, and, of course, a more powerful battery. It won't last forever, but it should be sufficient for our purposes.
Is that my tape recorder?
Oh, this. Fortunately, it contains the exact electret condenser microphone I need. I found it in that pile over in the corner.
You mean my stuff?
Because, my friend, I do not intend to get these hands dirty during our trip abroad. I can, however, by means of this camera, provide an extra pair of eyes and ears. No. It is a work in progress. My reputation has preceded me. I can assure you, my journey has taken many unexpected and, dare I say, unpredictable turns. I am quite content without a gun in hand.
Sounds foolish to me.
A person with nothing to lose has nothing to protect. Oh, so many fascinating things. The information your agency keeps on foreign assets is remarkable. Take our own Savati Dumas, for example. Truly riveting material.
And I believe you have a flair for the dramatic. They have nothing on me. What did you find?
Perhaps some other time. Yes, yes, yes. You also quite the curiosity, aren't you? CIA assassination training. Ooh. No doubt. You and Miss Dumas will enjoy trading grim tales over coffee.
Maybe I underestimated you.
Now, if you don't...
Take a seat. Do I look the part? Just another business tycoon's trophy wife. The senator's on stage now. Use your camera to get a better look. See the man speaking to Governor Clinton? Say hello to Senator McKenna. Put that camera to good use, Case.
Got it.
The senator isn't giving interviews tonight, and he doesn't go anywhere without his security detail. So the easy option is off the menu. Here, take this. I've done some scouting. Marked a few leads that could help get him isolated and get you close enough to do the retinal scan. Take your pick. Got any questions? Now's the time to ask. I'll tell you what I can. When the senator arrived, the waiter passed him a note. Whatever's on it put McKenna in a real bad mood. He crumpled the note and shoved it in his coat pocket right before he checked in. If we get our hands on that note, I bet we could use whatever's on it to our advantage. Senator McKenna seems to be having domestic troubles. Had a fight with his wife when he got here. Lots of smiling through gritted teeth. She stormed off. Hasn't spoken to him since. Just been drowning her troubles at the bar. Maybe you should lend her a sympathetic ear. A liability? Seriously?
You'd never pass for Delta.
An interpreter, then. You don't even...
So, here we are. I'm sure he is. And so are a lot of operatives up on the memorial wall. A big heart will weigh you down. I don't know if you had the pleasure of working with Jason Hudson. He was one of the casualties back in Panama. Just weeks before he died, he told me about a paramilitary group that may have infiltrated the CIA. Guess what they were called? Hudson seemed to believe they were homegrown, maybe transnational, but American-dominated. Most likely military and intelligence expats. The recruits seem Western-trained, English-speaking. They know how to think like us, which makes them especially dangerous. After Frank got out of Walter Reed, the news was that I put him in that chair. I was the one who compromised his Panama mission in '89, got Hudson and Mason killed, Woods injured. All bullshit. When I skipped town, I went silent on him, on everyone. Better he hate me than get caught in the net, but I guess it didn't matter in the end. So yeah, he did take a leap. He's loyal. Last March, someone produced documents showing encrypted transfers. From the drug lord Raul Menendez to my personal bank account. I got wind of it before Langley called me in from Morocco. Decided not to get on that plane. I'd been in contact with Alawi since the beginning of the year. He wanted a red carpet out of Iraq and was willing to talk for it. As a Minister of Defense, his value was high, and he knew it. After coalition forces attacked, well, his timeline changed. I was to meet him in Kuwait and supply passage through Europe. Seems I wasn't the only one who knew his plans. Uh-huh.
Sup, Case? Adler expects everyone to Michael Jordan when he says jump, but I don't do no questions asked. Cat knows a lot more than he lets on. You've heard the rumors. Adler's a wildfire. Burns through whatever's in his way if he gets the job done. Thing is, I'm not dancing to that tune. We're putting an end to the Pantheon and getting out of this thing alive. Tell me about it. Woods is really maxing out his credit on this one. But he's got a hell of a large line of it. Figure in this line of work, you'll end up in all sorts of crosshairs. But the CIA's dedicated my life to our country, you know? I believed in its potential. Still do, despite everything. After Capital Station? Hell, I don't see the cavalry coming either. We're all there is. He spent the last year gunning for the old guard at Langley. Maybe he was the mole behind Panama, too. If it wasn't Adler, someone sure did a bang-up job making it look that way. I don't know, man. Can't say it all adds up. Later.
The SAS want these scuds destroyed as much as you want that palace. We think the Iraqis could start launching at any time.
We'll get going when you're all...
Need something? So much interest in this palace. If it was up to me, we'd have blown it to Kingdom Come by now. The only reason it's still standing is Miss Park over there. Interesting indeed. Yeah. Just help us take out the remaining scuds and we'll help you get whatever it is you need. Not at the moment. It's too many bloody surface-to-air missiles. In fact, I just received word that some of your Delta Force friends were shot down nearby. We have our own attack helo, but it's not getting up there unless you find some way to disable the SAM sites in this region. The Iraqis have a few new encampments, likely connected to these cross-border missile strikes. Intel reports several unusual forces embedded in the camps. I'm not sure what you should expect there. You're mostly on your own there. Command's made some supply drops in the area, but we haven't had a chance to retrieve them. If you find any, they're yours. I've sent Jackal 1 for the scuds in sectors 7, 8, and 9. The rest are yours. We put advanced scouts on the ground to find the sites, and they're still out there. If you meet any, they might have additional intel. Don't you Americans talk? Of course. But no one besides Park seems to know about your little pack. To be honest, I don't give a shit about your agenda if we can get the work done out here. Let's hope they make short work of their targets. Don't worry. If all goes according to plan, they'll be back in time to help raid the palace. That is, if you uphold your end of the deal. What do you have in mind? Best of British to you out there. And I'd wait till the Iraqis would try that again. You finally take care of those scuds. We go in now, we go in with what we have. You sure? I'll give...
You've asked Harrow about this supposed research facility?
She's not picking up. Told her to look into Livingston.
I'm afraid I'll need a little more time. Unless you've come to help. Yet to be determined. I found these cookbooks in storage, but I'm afraid my Cyrillic skills are not as sharp as they once were. And I am working with ingredients that I could hunt and forage from the surrounding area. So, let's call it a stew, shall we? I see. Because I no longer desire to take a human life, you believe my heart bleeds for all creatures. It's an understandable assumption. However, these are very different circumstances. To hunt is to be in symbiosis with nature. To take a life without due cause is parasitical. Society is a predatory structure. Those with power, whether legitimate or otherwise, prey on those without, and use thugs, uniformed as I once was, or otherwise, to enforce their rule. The Stasi, CIA, organized crime in Avalon, most assuredly Pantheon, all are institutions of oppression. I bloodied my hands, burdened my soul with complicity, and now I live in shame. Never again. I cannot say. I think that makes us a necessary evil. Perhaps this is why I prefer computer systems. Ones and zeros. However, binary thinking is not conducive to modern existence. Social systems are complex webs. I think we can only navigate the gray and hope that history views us favorably. Whatever it contains is locked behind some rather impressive encryption. I was able to write a program to decrypt it, but the truth is, I am stumbling in the dark at best. Not so much picking the lock as drilling through the tumblers. Considering where you found it, the logical assumption is that it holds data pertaining to a weaponized biological agent. Or pornography. Feel free to come by the kitchen later. Might need a test subject.
Case. Need something before we go? What? Over the Iraq thing? Please. Not worth the energy. Contrary to Marshall's manly sensibilities, I could have helped. But you made it back alive, so... Oh, that's not fair. I need to generate revenue, Case. Taking down Avalon's crime factions isn't cheap. Don't get me wrong. You have a noble pursuit. But it isn't my fight. I'm not American. Don't have a misguided sense of patriotism like Marshall over there. Adler's only interested in whatever connections Avalon has to the Pantheon, if any. He could care less about my own mission, or anyone else's for that matter. Don't expect any bleeding heart behavior from him. A very long 10 miles down the mountain, to the nearest town. Rustic, you might call it. Place was depressing, but I hate having nothing to do, and I wasn't keen on being cooped up here with Woods. Of course. Need you! Been a day, huh, Case? The person you trust the most is the one most capable of hurting you. I do feel for Marshall. Years ago, I was involved with someone. His name was Pascal. Another member of the guild. I had never met anyone like him. Someone who didn't take me at face value. He was convinced I wasn't a killer at heart. That I cared too much. And I believed him. I told guild leadership that I no longer wanted that life. They confided in me. They knew that Pascal was an operative from a rival family. He had infiltrated the guild to sow discord. Take our secrets. They had the evidence. So they had me orchestrate his assassination. The most difficult thing I've ever done. Yes. But it It probably won't shock you, Case, to learn what happened next. The whole thing was a lie. He was innocent. I fled the guild and vowed to myself that I would bring the whole house down. Pascal was right about one thing. I do care too much. But he also got something wrong. I am a killer. Irreversibly. Thanks for listening, Case.
Case. Beginning to think you're invincible.
We can't talk about it.
You still with me? Is Livingston a world-class asshole? Abso-fucking-lutely. But Harrow? She's unhinged. Not sure if I buy them being in the same league. Do I think it was Harrow? Don't know. Probably. Pantheon's got a war chest. Could be she traded me, Mason, and Hudson for a mountain of cash. Raul Menendez is swimming in drug money. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, he called. Said he won't be home in time for dinner. He's still searching for Gusev in Iraq. Every lead's a dead end so far. But quit ain't in Adler's vocabulary, so we'll see. Nah, kid's grown up a lot last couple weeks. This might feel like a nasty setback, but he'll pick himself back up. He's resilient. I got faith in that son of a bitch. Shit's getting heavy. Look, you know you're in D.C., not fucking Alaska, right? Hey, what's going on? It's strange, man. Even if we clear our names, get out alive, don't think I can go back to the same life. This thing we got here, this group, it's good in its own fucked up way. No, but I haven't told anyone this yet. With Mason gone, I want to look after his boy, bring him up. I owe Mason that. And that kid, he's a good one. David. He's gonna amount to something someday. Maybe. I'm willing to give it a try, anyway. He'll need somebody. Yeah, man. Enjoy Kuwait.
Hey, I'll start packing up soon. My gut says he isn't, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Jane sure didn't try to protect him. Seemed fine keeping us on his trail. That bioweapon is strange. You were exposed, but obviously it wasn't as powerful as what they have now. My guess is that they're planning a spectacle of some kind. Something that'll scare the hell out of people.
They're wasting their time in there. She's not going to...
We're almost ready. Obviously not well enough. When Harrow arrived at Langley, she held a lot of promise. Curiosity, intellect, ambition. I tried to guide her in those early years. Maybe I wasn't the right one for the job. Well, it certainly served her well in her career. She now holds the most sway in the Special Activities Division behind Livingston himself. Its official name is Phoenosorazine, but MKUltra coined it Separation. I've had it for a while. Let's hope it doesn't have an expiration date. In most test subjects, it fragmented their psyche, a form of induced schizophrenia. We're gonna find the part of Harrow that's willing to talk to us. Don't ask. We should get started soon.